Imagine this. You're driving an electric car that goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per age in less than 2.8 seconds, and with a single charge. You can drive over 800 kilometers. And the craziest part? It charges from 0 to 80% in under 20 minutes. Panoramic screen, insane interior design, and AI that can literally drive the car for you. And guess what? This isn't a Tesla, not a Porsche, not even a Mercedes. This beast is from a company that used to make smartphones. Yeah, it's from Xiaomi, the Chinese tech giant. And the car? It's called the Xiaomi SU7, and it's basically shouting at the world, we're here, and we're flipping the game upside down. But the real question is, how the hell did a smartphone company break into the hypercar market and go head-to-head with the biggest names in the game on their very first try? Let's rewind and take it from the beginning. After seeing the Xiaomi SU7, you gotta ask yourself, how did it all begin? Like, how does a smartphone brand suddenly roll out a hypercar and compete with Tesla and freaking Porsche? The story goes back to 2010. In a tiny room in Beijing, 7 guys sat around a single table. They had a clear dream: build a smart device, but not just any device. They wanted to break the rules of the market and create a community around technology, not just a product. Leading that squad was Lei Jun, a calm, soft-spoken entrepreneur, but with ambition bigger than life. He had one principle: simple but powerful. Start with the user, and everything else will follow. But here's the twist. Xiaomi didn't even start with a phone. They launched with a custom Android skin called MIUE. But it wasn't just any skin. It was faster, cleaner, and packed with features people were literally begging for. The community exploded. People wanted more. They wanted the actual Xiaomi phone. And in 2011, it happened. The first official phone, the Xiaomi Mi 1. And the price? Insane. Almost half of what the big brands were charging, and better specs too. Demand went through the roof. The phone sold out in minutes. People were shocked. Like, how did a brand new company pull this off? But what they didn't know was that it was all part of the plan. No middlemen, no flashy ads, everything sold online. Costs kept to the absolute minimum. And all that money saved on marketing, it went straight into making the product better. That was the launch pad, the ignition point for the rocket called Xiaomi. Can you believe Xiaomi made massive sales without spending big on ads? Their motto was simple: instead of paying for marketing, let the product do the talking. Their phones? Strong, cheap, way better than expected. And that made people sell it for them. Every customer who bought brought 10 more. It spread like wildfire, especially among young folks in China. And get this, inside China, Xiaomi built an empire without opening a single store. They sold everything online and used social media like pros. Crushing it in China wasn't enough. Xiaomi set its sights abroad and stormed into India. They grew fast and became #1 in the Indian market for years. From there, they moved into Europe, the Middle East, Africa. But they weren't just chasing sales, they had a bigger dream. They started building TVs, earbuds, smart gadgets, all with killer prices. But what nobody expected, they were planning something way bigger: the Xiaomi supercar. After smashing it in the Chinese market, Xiaomi was ready for the next step. Conquering the world, they entered India hard, and not just with phones, but with a whole new vibe. Low prices, killer specs, and a loyal fan base made them one of the top brands in India. From there, Xiaomi started spreading fast across Europe, Russia, the Middle East, and Latin America. They weren't just selling devices. They were building trust, loyalty, and a massive fan community that kept growing. All of this proved one thing: Xiaomi wasn't just another Chinese tech company. They were redefining what tech success looks like. But this wild success was just the start of a way bigger dream. Just when everyone thought Xiaomi had peaked, the company flipped the script. This time, they weren't just entering a new industry. They were stepping into a war. Xiaomi announced they were building their first electric supercar. Not just another EV, but a beast that could challenge Tesla, Mercedes, even Porsche. Their car, the SU7, hit like a bomb. 0 to 100 in 2.78 seconds. Insanely fast charging, battery ready in under 15 minutes, an AI-powered dashboard, and a full smart system that lets you control the car with your Xiaomi phone. It was clear Xiaomi wasn't here to play. They came to build a smart car empire, with the same hunger they brought to phones, but on a whole other level. But in 2021, Lei Jun dropped a bombshell. Xiaomi was officially entering the electric car market. Not some side project. Nope. They committed $10 billion over the next 10 years. And they launched a whole new company, Xiaomi EV. Everyone was like, wait, Xiaomi? Making cars? But Lei Jun was dead serious. He said, this isn't a gamble, it's a must-dot. The future of smart devices is the smart car. So they started building their own factories in Beijing, hired thousands of engineers. And from day one, the goal was crystal clear. A smart luxury electric car at a killer price. And the key? Design it with Xiaomi's core philosophy, top performance, for an unbeatable price. Then in December 2023, boom, the moment of truth. Xiaomi finally unveiled their first ever car, the Xiaomi SU7. A sleek, sporty electric sedan, looking like a mix between the Porsche Taycan and Tesla Model S. But looks aside, let's talk specs. 800 kilometers of range per charge. Fast charging 0 to 100% in under 30 minutes. 100 kilometers per H in just 2.78 seconds. Massive 16-inch screen with Xiaomi's custom AI system. And advanced self-driving tech, autopilot and more. And all this starts under $30K. Xiaomi officially stepped into the big leagues. Xiaomi jumped into the EV market like it already knew the road. No hesitation, no slow start, no trial and error. They dove straight in with their first car, the Xiaomi SU7, a beast that caught global attention, with specs that might make Tesla rethink everything. 0 to 100 kilometers per H in under 2.8 seconds. Range? Over 800 kilometers per charge. Charging? 510 kilometers of range in just 15 minutes. Smart driving system? It's called Xiaomi Pilot, powered by deep learning and advanced computer vision. And the design? Xiaomi brought in ex-designers from Porsche and BMW to craft a ride that's both luxurious and wild. Now, this is where the real competition starts. Xiaomi isn't just a phone brand trying its luck anymore. It's a serious threat to Tesla, Porsche, even Mercedes. But here's the question. How did Xiaomi go from making phones to building supercars? And can they really stay ahead? Behind every major success in China, there's always smart, strategic government backing. And for Xiaomi, it wasn't just money. It was about positioning. The Chinese government sees electric vehicles as critical to the country's future. So they backed Xiaomi hard. With land, low-interest loans, tax breaks, you name it. Even licensing, which is usually a huge hurdle, was granted at record speed. This meant Xiaomi didn't start from scratch. They started ahead. But let's be real. Government support alone doesn't guarantee success. Lots of Chinese companies got the same treatment and failed. What sets Xiaomi apart? Their mindset, their boldness, their innovation, now that Xiaomi's crushing it in China. The real question is, can they do it globally? Outside of China, it's a whole new battlefield. Tough markets, strict regulations, loyal customers hooked on traditional brands. But Xiaomi's got a secret weapon: value for money. Their cars pack insane features for way less than their Western rivals. If they can keep that up, we might soon see Xiaomi owning streets in Europe and the US. But is that dream real? Or is the road still too long? But Xiaomi wasn't just joining the car game quietly. Nah, they wanted to make noise. Big time. In 2023, they dropped a bomb. The Xiaomi SU7. A super electric car that shook the market. Top speed? Over 265 kilometers per H. 0 to 100 in just 2.78 seconds. 220 kilometers of range from just a 5-minute charge. Designed like a mix of Porsche and Tesla, but cheaper and smarter. Xiaomi didn't just build a car. They packed in everything they learned from phones, smart tech, perfect integration, clean UX, and insane speed. That's where Xiaomi's real power showed, blending consumer tech with auto innovation to create something stylish and totally game-changing. Inside the SU7, there's something most cars just don't have: a fully smart system built by Xiaomi from scratch. Their autonomous driving system? Called Xiaomi Pilot. It runs on AI, high-res cameras, and a mix of radar and LiDAR to see the road like never before. The result? A car that thinks, analyzes, and reacts in real time, just like a Xiaomi phone, but on wheels. And get this, Xiaomi built all of it, in-house. The software, the hardware, the brain, everything. No outsourcing to Huawei or Baidu here. They designed their whole ecosystem, end to end. Today, Xiaomi isn't just fighting local car brands. They're going toe-to-toe with the giants: Tesla, BMW, even Porsche. But here's the kicker: lower price, better specs, and smarter tech. People started comparing the SU7 to the Tesla Model 3 and Porsche Taycan, and guess what? In a bunch of those matchups, SU7 came out on top. Pre-orders hit over 90,000 cars, just days after the launch. The market changed. The game totally flipped. So in the end, Xiaomi ain't just a phone brand anymore. We're talking about a company that rose from nothing, took on the biggest players, and now they're breaking into the EV world with the SU7 and shaking everything up. This ain't luck. It's vision. It's guts. It's fire. And honestly, I think Xiaomi's taken a huge risk, but they've got everything it takes to make it work. I'm Ahmed Khalid, and I truly believe Xiaomi is writing a brand new chapter in tech history, a chapter that starts in Beijing and races straight into the future.